Foster care in itself is such an isolating experience, and you can't really explain that to people until they actually see it themselves.
I think without a foster-friendly community, we would not have made it.
It's messy. I mean, it is, which is coming from a financial advisor who I love comfort. You know, I mean, we all love comfort. Is it hard? Yes, it's very hard. But is it worth it? How can you say no?
We can have all the heart and we can have a really good staff. But at the end of the day, it's too much work. The problem's bigger than just the child welfare agencies. And it really is a community issue.
It would be easy to look at this and say, wow, this is such a big undertaking, but you just have to look at it one relationship at a time.
The amount of community that wants to help, but they just don't know how to help, they just need some guidance. You just need to get in front of them and say, hey, this is how you can help, and it's organic from there.
I think there's a lot of people that can't foster for whatever reason, or maybe they're not ready, and a great first step is, how can I just come alongside the people that are doing it?
Even if it's not truly fostering, there's so many ways that you can support and help in the foster community. So if it's respite care, if it's babysitting, if it's making meals, if it's just asking what can be done, there's so many ways that you can help.
I think a support system is absolutely crucial because it's too much for one family to try to do on their own. It's an impossible task. And that's why we have a community, a village, a church, an organization, wraparound care. That's what it's there for. And in order to serve those kids the best, you have to learn to accept help. There's no options.
When you're in crisis mode, you're in crisis mode. You need people to come alongside and say, we'll give you some relief.
Anything that we can do to help families that are taking such a huge step, making such a huge sacrifice, and to help the children that are going through things that are very difficult, where they're not living with their biological families, and there's a time where they're not living at home, and so they're going through all these changes, and the family's going through changes, and the siblings and the parents, and we want to be able to just do a small part to take some pressure off of those families.
I think when people hear about opportunities to step into foster care, they initially think licensing, like, okay, the only way to help is to open my home, and that just seems a little intimidating. And so to be able to hear that something that I do every day that I'm good at, that they can use that to support foster families is kind of like the light bulb moment for them.
Being a teen mom, I am very keenly aware that this should have probably been my story. This is my opportunity to show up for people and to show up for the kids who have no choice and who have no voice in the situation.
There's not a leader in any city in America that would not want to make life better for their citizens. And to make life better, they have to look at every part of their community. People say, we don't want to leave any child left behind. Well, what does that really mean? That means looking for the vulnerable parts of our population, the foster kids that need to have a home and a family. And if you will commit to becoming the solution that makes this connection, then your leadership will truly have influence in people's lives.
And I think as people start to see that when kids are healthy and thriving in my community, my business does do better.
I always tell people, I didn't wake up today and sign up for foster care and roll out of bed, and now we have 8 children in our home. This has been a process for us, and it is so much so the same thing for a foster-friendly community.
You know, when we say things like everyone is called to be involved in foster care, that means bringing dinner once a month or babysitting for free or becoming a foster parent yourself. I mean, everyone is called to play their part, and your tiny part is no less meaningful.
While I've never been a foster parent and I've never walked that road, if I can have a better understanding of what a family is going through, it may help in a ministry setting welcome them, love them, and just walk alongside them better. It's not everybody saying, yes, I'm gonna be a foster parent, but yes, I am gonna be a foster advocate.
As a foster mom, I can't do this on my own. And so knowing that the community is wrapping around me and supporting me is super beneficial in me staying in this.
But the sustainability piece in my mind is ultimately like the vision of this when the city becomes foster friendly, when, vulnerable children have the ability to be cared for and loved for in a home, and their families and their biological parents cared for, so that families can reunite, and that children that are in need of adoption can find a home that is the right home for them. When all of this happens, it won't be because one organization or another organization made this happen. It's because we did it together.